Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm EG69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going back to our free-to-play account. Now we are up to tier 9 and we are on the Leopard PTA. Now this tank is a good tank. It's a nice tank. As you know, the Leopard 1 is my favorite tank in the game, but this tank fully stocked, it's painful. It is very, very painful. The accuracy just doesn't do it. The penetration doesn't do it. I mean, my first battle on this literally was a 0 damage game and I was dead in like 30 seconds. So, I mean, the reload's the reload's okay. The reload's actually better than the Top Gun. And even though the penetration isn't the greatest, it can still do its job. It can still pen tanks, but just not as good as the other tanks. So we do have a couple of battles for you today. We're going to have one which is fully stock. I think we're going to have one where we have the tracks, and then that could be it. I'm not sure, because we're going to keep the gun. We're going to keep the gun because I do actually now at this moment in time have it fully equipped with the gun, etc., and that will be for another episode. So as you can see, we are on 1,000 damage. I mean, we're doing okay. We haven't taken any hit points yet. The speed, as you can see, the speed's still pretty good. It's not too sluggish. It's just, I mean, look at the gun. Look how thin the gun is. The gun's horrible on this tank. The accuracy, I mean, look at that. That should not have missed that Leopard PTA. So now we're going to chase. I mean, we are up by 2 tanks, and we are going to shoot a bit of HE into that guy before our T-54 can take him out. And now it's just 4 tanks left alive. Now, there are a couple of tier 9s. The tier 9s you do have to be careful of, because you are going to struggle to pen. I mean, that ST there, yeah, we can pen him quite easily, but you have to fully aim in. I mean, the ST is a good well-armoured tank, so to pen him even on the side like that, it's not too bad. The pen's not the worst. The pen's not the worst, and even though it's not fun playing this stock, it's not fun at all, I don't think it's as bad as people always made out to be. People always saying, if you think that's good, go and play the Leopard stock. I mean, it's not as bad as people make out. You still have the mobility, you still have the rate of fire, the accuracy. I mean, we did get that shot there, which I was pleasantly surprised about. Of course, you're not going to bounce anything in the Leopard. You're not going to bounce anything fully stock, fully equipped anyway. So it's a very difficult tank to play when you are fully stocked. But it's not, as I've said, it's not the worst of tanks. So we're going to have a battle here. I think this game I've actually got the tracks. I'm not 100% sure. And I think maybe the last one we have the engine. So we're going to shoot a bit of HE into the T-49. I mean, it still works. It doesn't do as much damage. It does less damage than obviously the main gun. But the main gun does have a longer reload. So it can still do its job. But we're going to drop down here, and I actually meant to drop. It didn't look like it, but I did actually mean to drop down, because if I was going to stay up, then I was going to get wrecked, and I really wanted to run away from that Leopard, because I mean, he's fully equipped and he will just kill me. My hit points are not there, so I wanted to just drop down and come in from a different direction and hopefully get some shots on these heavy tanks. Now, there is an IS-8 here who I am going to fluff my first shot. We can pen him with AP, which is still pretty good, which is what I'm saying. Like, it's not all bad. If you can pen a heavy tank frontally with your stock gun, then the gun really isn't so bad. And I honestly don't, even though, yeah, it's bad, the tank's bad fully stocked, but any tank's bad fully stocked, and I don't think this is the worst. I really don't think this is the worst tank fully stocked to play. I mean, the SP1C was probably as bad as this. So as long as it's got the reload, it's got the speed, it hasn't got the armor, but it hasn't got the armor anyway, honestly, it's not as bad as people make out. So this game, I mean, we're on 1.6k damage. We didn't do nothing in with fully stocked. I mean, we're going to have a game next which we do okay in, but we didn't really do nothing special. And actually my first game with the Top Gun, I actually had quite a good game, which we're going to see in another episode. So now there's just 2 tanks left alive. We've still got 5 tanks. We're on 1.8k damage. As long as we can get behind. Now, I do get scared in a minute because the ST is spotted and the RU251 is going to die, but he's not actually going to die from the ST. He's going to die from the Jagdtiger. So at the moment, I'm not knowing if the Jagdtiger is by the ST or if he's up on that hill to our left, which is why you can see I'm just trying to reset the camo. I'm just trying to wait. I don't think I was spotted anyway, but I just wanted to be safe because I could be a one-shot to that guy. So I am sorry I was low, says the RU251. No worries. You tried your best. We wasn't to know that there was a Jagdtiger waiting for you. So bless his little heart. So now it's a 4 against 2. We are capping, so we've got the cap pressure. Please win for me. We will try our best, RU251. And as you can see there, I mean, the Leopard 1 or the Leopard with fully upgraded, that would hit because the accuracy on the Leopard is amazing. So this is what really disappoints me really about the tank, is that accuracy, where you can hit anything in the Leopard 1. Anything you aim at, you will hit. And here it's going to be this ST is actually going to be very, very troll. And to be honest, it was partly my fault because I should be aiming. We do bring him down to a 1-shot, but now I do have that Jagdtiger come behind. He should have shot me with HE. It would have been game over. And now we're just trying to get rid of this ST before he looks at me. And we bounce there. Again, he's not looking. We're going to aim. And again, just look at the accuracy. We are missing. We are bouncing. And we just can't hit him. Again, we bounce his turret. And I should be aiming, but I don't want to aim. I need to look where that Jagdtiger is. Finally, my team takes him out, and it is now a 3 against 1. But the Jagdtiger has one of the best rate of fires in the game. Actually, the second highest DPM tank in the game. So I want to get behind him. I really want to get behind him. Our Jagdtiger is capping the base, so it's putting more pressure on him. He does take out the standard B, and here he should really be turning around. But again, if he turns around, then my Jagdtiger will probably be able to shoot him. So what he's actually doing, he's pretty smart. He is doing the right thing here in going behind that rock so the Jagdtiger can't shoot him. But because he's a slow tank, I am able to release some shells into him. We're going to get one more shell into him, and then we're just going to back up. He is a 1-shot, and this is where I was hoping my Jagdtiger would just poke out. All you need to do is poke out and splash him with HE. So we're up to 3.5k damage so far, which I still think is a pretty good job. I think that's still a pretty good job playing it fully stocked with just the tracks. And now I mean, at this moment in time, I know we're going to win. We're on 90 supremacy points. Whether I die or not, that Jagdtiger wasn't going to get to cap in time. So 3.5k damage, not a bad battle. It was only a 2nd class, makes some credits. But I was quite pleased with that win. So moving on to the next game, this is where we have the engine and the tracks. I don't think we don't have the turret yet, or we don't have the gun. But again, usually I don't ever buy the engine or the tracks first. I always buy the gun first. But the gun was quite a lot of money, a lot of XP, and I just didn't have it. And I had enough XP there to get the tracks. So I thought, you know what, screw it. The gun is not bad. The gun isn't bad. Even in tier 10, it can still pen. Even if you have to shoot with Pramo, it can still pen people. So this is why I went for the tracks and the engine before I went for the gun. And to be honest, I probably shouldn't have, because the engine, I mean, the speed was still all right. It wasn't so bad. But I do eventually have the gun. And again, like I said, maybe next week I will release another episode on this free-to-play account. So now I'm playing very aggressive. No one is spotted around this way, so I'm playing very, very aggressive, and I'm trying to get behind the tanks as soon as possible. You can see my team is by A, so they should be taking the attention to some of these tanks, and the first tank I spot is that AMX 5120. So I could possibly use a HE. I'm not sure if the HE will be able to pen or not, so that's why I'm not actually shooting HE. I'm just going to go for the AP and try and get some damage. And now the Borzik is spotted. I can actually actually load up that HE. But the team are shooting him as well. 292 damage, a nice roll there with this gun. Of course, that would do over 400 damage if I was using the big gun, the proper gun. And we do manage to take him out pretty early on. So that is one tank down for the enemy. And now with my team in front of them, I can get behind, and this AMX 5120, he's going to have a bad day. He's got tanks to the front, and now he's got tanks to the front, and there's no way that I can pen that guy even with HE. So I just have to try and farm him with AP. Before, I was hoping I would save my IS-3, but unfortunately we don't manage to do that. But the AMX has now gone. So it's now 6 against 5. And again, I want to get behind these tanks. And I didn't quite know that the Hori was there looking at me. So I do take a nasty shot. And I'm just going to back up. I should be able to shoot him another time before he reloads. But again, with the troll armor, he does bounce. I do bounce on him. So now I'm just going to wait. It's a 5 against 4. I don't want to take any chances whatsoever. I don't want to lose any more hit points. So I'm just going to wait for him to turn, and then I am able to take some shots into him. Now the enemy have bring it down to a 4-on-4. They've still got some hit points between them. So I don't want to waste any hit points if I don't have to. We've got the cap points. We have 2 caps over them. We're winning on caps. We're over double more than them. And I do take a big risk there in trying to get that shot. And now the VK is coming as well. I mean, I'm a one shot. I'm thinking right now that I'm dead. I do manage to get behind this corner, and I'm hoping that Object 704 turns around and actually helps me, but he's not. So the Hori has now shot, which means he's now dead, so I can back up a bit further around. And you can see I'm looking at the minimap, I'm looking around, I'm trying to focus and see what tanks are behind me, and I really want to focus the tank that my team are going for. So they have taken the attention of the VK, which means I can use that ability to get around, and we are able to clear him. So it's now a 3 against 2. There is still a lightweight that is full hit points, but of course with an Object 704, he can absolutely destroy that lightweight if he gets a nice shot. And just look at that, 1000 damage. He's now a one shot which I can poke and a low roll. Hopefully my Panther does take him out, which he does. So now we have the cap points, 900 cap points, and there is just an IS-3 left alive. So I'm just going to wait for the Object 704 to get around. He is going to shoot HE, I think. And he's just getting wrecked. So now I know that the IS-3 has shot. I can just get around him, use that mobility, get around. I'm going to get one more shot, and my team are going to take him out. And we do manage to reach that 1000 supremacy points. So we do get 2 kills there, 3.7k damage, and I was very pleasantly surprised to receive the ace. I always love to ace a tank, especially when it is a stock tank. So nice ace there, not the best, but we did our job. So that is, I mean, nice amount of XP as well, 1300 XP. So that is the Leopard stock. It's bad, but it's not the worst. It's playable, it's copeable, and you can still do your job. And as you can see there, the engine and the tracks, and I'm still waiting to get that gun. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll be back next week for another episode. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.